Hello everyone, my name is Vishnuvardhan. I am currently pursuing my BTech third year in the stream of CSC. This is a video part of my Pfizer own course mid-assignment submission. Today I will explain key concepts like closures and callbacks and promises, async and write. At the end, I will demonstrate a to-do list application using closures. I will explain everything step by step. Let's start with closures. Closures in JS are created when a function remembers the variables from its outer scope even after the outer function has finished executing. Closures help us maintaining private variables, create modular and usable code, avoid polluting the global scope. Let's go to the example. In this example, define create counter. This is a function that declares a private variable count, initialize it to 0, and count is not accessible directly from outside the function, and returns an object with three methods: increment, decrement, and reset. Increment increases the value of count by 1, decrement decreases the value of count by 1, and reset counts to 0. And using the closure, we call create counter in returns an object that contains the methods. These methods retain access to the count variable even though create counter has finished executing. This happens because of the closure. We have called the count method counter dot increment, counter dot increment, decrement, reset, and let's see the output. We have got the output like some increment, and which is a twice increment and decrement and finally reset. And let's go to the next concept, callback. A callback is a function passed as an argument to another function. The callback is executed after a certain task is completed, making it ideal for asynchronous operations like fetching data or reading files. And let's go to the example. Here, fetch data using callback is a function. It accepts a callback parameter, and we use set timeout to simulate after a 1 second delay. After the delay, the callback function is called with the message callback data fetched successfully. And when we call fetch data using callback, we pass an anonymous function that logs the fetch data to the console. And then the callback ensures that the message is only logged after the simulated fetch operation completes. And let's see the output of the code. It has waited at least a timeout of 1 second, and the finally callback completion execution completed this statement. And let's go to the next concept, promises. A promise represents a value that might be available now in the future or never. It makes an asynchronous code easier to manage by providing dot then and dot catch methods. And let's go to the example. Fetch data using promise is a function. It returns a new promise object. Inside the promise, resolve is called as after 1 second with a success message, and use dot then. When the promise is resolved, then the dot then method runs and logs the success message and handles errors with the dot catch method. If something goes wrong, the dot catch method will handle the error. And let's see the output. I got the promise data fetched successfully. And fourth concept is async. Finally, let's talk about async on await. This syntax is built on promises but makes the code easier to read and write. It lets you write asynchronous code that looks like synchronous code. Let's go to the example. Uh, Fetch data using async as a function. It returns a promise that resolves with the success manage after 1 second. Mark the async function with async, which lets us await inside it. Await passes the function execution until the promise resolves. Handles errors with a try catch. If an error occurs, it is caught and logged. Check the output. Okay, we got the output successfully. And finally, let's dive into the to-do list application. to-do list application is built using closures in JS. Um, Firstly, the to-do list function acts as the module that contains all the logic and private variables for managing the tasks. Inside the function, we have the private variable all that stores the tasks as an array. Several methods like add, mark as complete, and overdue, due today, due later to displayable lists. And if adding tasks, the add method takes an to do item object, adds a complete property, and it pushes into the all array. This allows us to add tasks with a title and due date while also marking them as an incomplete default. For example, JavaScript to add title submit and due date something marking as task as complete. The mark as complete method updates the complete method specific index to true. This allows us to mark tasks as done when we complete them. We categorize tasks based on their due dates. It filters all array to return tasks they are past their due date and are not at that completed. Tasks due today. This checks for tasks with a due date equal to today's. Tasks due later. It filters a due date greater than today. The to-do displayable list method formats the tasks for marks completed tasks if correctly, if not, and if the task is due today, it doesn't display the due date. Otherwise, it includes the due date in the output. Finally, output. Let's see the output. Output overdue, due today, and due later. We have got the submit assignment, submit vehicle, and file taxes, pay electric bill, and overdue, due today, due later. Overdue something, and due today, and due later is nothing. Okay. Overdue means tasks that are were due before today and are incomplete. Due today means tasks that are due today and regardless for their completion status. Due later means tasks that are due in the future. Why closes? The the all array is private and I can be accessed and modified using the methods defined inside to-do list. This ensures encapsulation and prevents accidental modification from outside. Each function add as mark as complete and etc. remembers the all array through closures even after to-do list has finished executing. This modular design makes the application scalable and easy to maintain. Thank you for watching.